In the world of business, knowledge isn't just power, it's your unfair advantage. This is Momentum, your deep dive into the books that shape the world's most successful leaders. Let's begin.
It's 10 a.m. on a Tuesday. Your best performer drops into the chair across from your desk. You smile, sip your coffee, and ask, "How are things?" They smile back. They say, "Everything's good. The project is totally on track."
You feel a wave of relief. You mentally check the box. Great one-on-one. Good chat.
But exactly 3 weeks later, that same employee walks into your office, hands you a piece of paper, and quits.
And you are totally blindsided.
You're thinking, wait, I just asked you. You said everything was fine. What just happened?
What happened is that you thought you were managing a spreadsheet, but you were actually managing a human. And humans are messy, emotional, and predictably irrational.
If you manage a team right now, whether that's 2 people or 2,000, you are living with ticking time bombs. People who are smiling to your face, telling you it's fine, while actively polishing their resumes on their lunch break.
But there is a way to diffuse those bombs. A highly specific, deeply uncomfortable technique that catches the disaster before it happens. But it requires you to break the cardinal rule of polite conversation.
Today, we're diving into a cult classic leadership book called Managing Humans by Michael Lopp. Lopp is a Silicon Valley legend. He's led engineering teams at Apple, Slack, and Pinterest.
Places where the talent is brilliant, but notorious for being introverted, stubborn, and allergic to corporate management speak.
Right. Lopp realized early on that most managers fail because they treat management like software engineering. They think, if input A is correct, output B will follow.
I give you a paycheck, you give me code, or sales, or marketing copy.
Exactly. But Lopp says that's not how humans work. His big revelation, and the core of this entire book, is that your weekly one-on-ones might secretly be destroying your team's trust.
Wait, that sounds backwards. Every management guru on earth says one-on-ones are the holy grail of leadership.
I know. Stay with me. The problem isn't the meeting itself, it's what you are doing in the meeting. Most managers turn the one-on-one into a status update. You sit down and ask, where are we on the Q3 deliverables?
Which is the worst possible use of that time. If you just want a status update, send an email or check the project dashboard.
Lopp argues that when you ask for a status update, you are treating your employee like a server. You ping them for data, they return the data. And because they want to look competent, they give you the sanitized bullet point version of their week, the everything is fine version.
They aren't lying to you maliciously. They are lying to you efficiently. They are trying to survive the meeting so they can get back to their real work.
Meanwhile, the real problem stays completely hidden. The fact that they hate the new software, or they feel disrespected by the marketing director, or their burnout is at critical mass. None of that fits onto a status update.
So how do you get them off the script? What happens when a polite chat needs to turn into an intervention?
Lopp says you have to actively hunt for what he calls the vent. You have to get them emotional.
And this is where it gets wildly counterintuitive. As a manager, you are wired to fix things. Someone brings up a tiny problem and you immediately offer a solution. Oh, the marketing director is being annoying? Let's get him on a call.
But Lopp says do not fix it. Stop talking. Your only job in a one-on-one is to create a conversational vacuum so powerful that the real, messy, human truth gets sucked out into the open.
And to do that, you have to use the most terrifying tool in a manager's arsenal, the uncomfortable silence.
Let me paint the picture. You look at your employee and ask, what's the most frustrating part of your week right now? They give you a safe, boring answer. Oh, just a lot of emails.
Normally, you'd nod and say, yeah, emails are the worst. Anyway, moving on.
Don't do it. Instead, you say nothing. You just look at them. You wait 3 seconds, 4 seconds,
5 seconds, which in a real face-to-face conversation feels like a literal eternity. Every instinct in your entire body is screaming at you to fill the dead air.
The employee starts to squirm. They realize their superficial answer didn't land. The silence is too heavy. So they crack. They fill the space.
I mean, it's just that every time I send an email to Dave, he CCs my boss, and it makes me feel like he doesn't trust me at all.
Boom. There it is. You just found the ticking time bomb. Dave is destroying your best employee's morale, and you never would have known if you had asked for a project update.
That's the genius of Lopp's approach. He forces you to remember that the person across from you isn't a resource. They are a human being with an ego, with insecurities, and with bad days. The real work of a manager isn't managing the work. It's managing the emotions around the work.
So tomorrow, when you sit down for your next one-on-one, I want you to try this. Do not ask for a status update. Bring up a broad, open-ended question. Ask, what's a disaster waiting to happen that we aren't talking about?
And then, when they give you a safe, generic answer, close your mouth. Count to 5 in your head. Let the silence do the heavy lifting.
Watch what happens. The truth will literally spill out onto your desk.
But knowing about the silence and actually surviving those 5 seconds are two very different things. It takes practice to not jump in and save them.
Which is exactly why you need to open the Momentum app right now. We've built an interactive scenario based on Michael Lopp's Managing Humans. You can actually practice holding that uncomfortable silence with an AI team member. You'll feel the urge to speak, and we will train you to hold back.
It's the ultimate safe space to fail before you try it on your actual team tomorrow.
Practice it in the app today. And if you've ever felt like your team is speaking a completely different language than you, do yourself a favor and pick up the full book, Managing Humans. It will fundamentally change the way you look at the people walking around your office.
You might just save your best employee from walking out the door.
Until next time, keep the momentum going.